Idell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
It's the day of the sweating sidewalk. Why is the area where I park my car perspiring? It's not alive, is it? Yeah, you right, Crescent City, 45 one day, 75 the next. The roller coaster, the weather roller coaster ride continues. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year, out with 2024, in with 2025. It's a coming, Miss Peaches. It's like when the break train comes, you better get out of the way because it's coming and it's going to take out a leg, an arm, might run you over, might split you in two. Yep. That little pointy thing on the front of the old train, I think that was to get cows and stuff like that off the tracks. Human beings, you just get run over. Anyway, it's coming. 2024. Look, I thought Halloween was like a week ago. Seriously. Summer, the end of summer, like August, about 6 weeks ago. Like 6 weeks ago. It's like months and months and months ago. We're in mid-December, which is just not believable. It's crazy. It's insane. It is holiday season, obviously. Guys, this is a public service announcement more than a commercial. The Woodhouse Day Spa. All problems solved. It's exactly what she wants. A woman gets that little bag from the Woodhouse Day Spa, and it's got like inside some bath salts and candles and moisturizers and a gift card for a day of relaxation at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spas. It's a grand slam home run. It's like her getting you a flat screen TV for the Super Bowl. It's exactly what she wants. What am I going to get her? A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. It is exactly what she wants. I'm going to give away a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates in just a few minutes as the holiday season continues. Yeah, you're right. The way to participate in the program, question, comment on one of our topics, or if you want to answer a little trivia. Rouse's Markets phone lines is how you do it. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. The aforementioned Miss Peaches at the controls. On this Tuesday afternoon, late December, fading from 2024 into 2025. Just crazy. Yikes. Fog on the Causeway Bridge this morning. At least 6 separate crashes. Not one crash involving 6 vehicles. There might have been 40 or 50 vehicles involved in wrecks, including a few 18-wheelers. They had to bring in the big bad boy tow trucks to get those 18-wheelers out. Then a lot of flatbed tow trucks just because you're hauling cars, blown out tires, rims totaled, not towable. You're pulling them up on the flatbed and just pulling them out. At least 6 crashes, 2 on the southbound span. That's the older bridge with the new improved railing. Maybe without the new improved railing, who knows what happens in 2 of those southbound crashes. 4 northbound span crashes. 4 northbound span crashes. Again, reportedly involving between 40 and 50 vehicles. Multiple people injured. No deaths reported, thank God. I'm not trying to downplay this, but it looked like a lot of high-speed pinball, kind of just cars crashing. And, I mean, serious damage. Don't get me wrong. Cars doing 65, 70 miles an hour on the Causeway, maybe a little slow with fog. But no, cars lit up on fire, just Black Hulk, mess sitting on there, metal on rims, engine exposed, nothing like that. But the 18-wheeler with the whole front end smashed, and then like 10 cars in front of them all piled up. One backwards. How'd you like to be in the middle, just getting spun all around, hit by multiple vehicles? You don't know if you're going over the side or not. Multiple people injured. Reportedly, 33 people taken to local hospitals. But no reported deaths, thank God. Both spans shut down around 8:30 this morning for hours. There are only so many ways out of New Orleans. We're an island. New Orleans is on an island. We are 110% a full-blown island. We're just not as maybe deliberately cut like a lot of islands where it's obvious, but we are an island. Mississippi River, lakes, bayous. There's only so many ways out. I mean, there's I-10 East and there's I-10 West. There's Airline Highway West. There's Chef Highway East. There's the Causeway Bridge. There's Highway 11. I mean, there's just not too many ways out of New Orleans. River Road. That would take forever. So you can see how precarious the situation is. You get a foggy morning, coupled with like some kind of evacuation, and we're in trouble. Because you get a wreck like you got head on I-55 about a year ago, and the wreck this morning on the Causeway. Wrecks, I should say, on the Causeway. At least 6 crashes. You're all of a sudden cutting out the, half dozen roads. You're taking one of the 6 or so roads out of the equation. Might be 10, 15, 20% of the roadway, where vehicles can get east, west, or north of the city. There's just not that many ways out. I mean, I guess you could count West Bank because you end up going 90 that way towards Lafayette. Just not a whole lot of ways out. Now, which leads to how is the US 90, Chef Highway, St. Tammany Parish, how is that still not open? How can you not take US 90 across the Pearl River into Pearlington, Mississippi, by Port D'Iberville, into Waveland and Bay St. Louis? How is that not open? Lake Shore, Mississippi. How is US 90 not open? It's a bunch of UEP long era bridges. The main one over the West Pearl River. Over the West Pearl River is an old drawbridge that needed to be replaced 20, 30, 40 years ago, literally. And now it is in the up position and no cars can travel on it. Then there are a handful, maybe like 3 or 4 of these smaller steel bridges, but not like the big drawbridge, just over like a West Pearl River tributary or little bayou or stream. Those are all deemed, old, not repairable, not able to drive on. I don't believe that about those. I think if they probably have some problems and need repairs and maintenance, but those are small bridges and they're brick, you-know-what houses, like overbuilt, even though they're 80 plus years old. Those I don't think are the problem. The drawbridge is the problem. All the boats north of the drawbridge, need to be told to move south of the drawbridge or go somewhere else, because we're lowering the drawbridge permanently. And we're putting like those panels that they had on the twin span, the Slidell, when it got knocked out. And we're immediately starting building a new bridge. Where's Steve Scalise, Mike Johnson? Where are those guys? Where's our D.C. representation? This is US 90, a federal highway. Where's the federal money? State matching money? Let's get this project going. Let's build a better US 90 Chef Highway in St. Tammany Parish and have another way out. The fact that there are only about a half dozen ways out and the Chef Highway isn't one of them is mind-blowing, especially what happened on the Causeway this morning. Coming right back, New Orleans.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Summer-like weather out there, 75 degrees, absolutely crazy. I am in short sleeves today, no problem. Not like worried, like going to leave here after the show at 6 and it's going to be chilly and I better rush to the car. Wake up tomorrow morning, it's going to be about 60 degrees. But in about 48 hours, it'll be about 48. Back and forth, a ping pong ball, back and forth, hot, and cold. Thank goodness for Total Maintenance. Thank goodness for Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys. 40 years, sterling reputation in South Louisiana. Air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. You might be running air conditioning on Monday, and on Wednesday you're running heat, and then no unit on Thursday, and back to AC on Friday, and Saturday night it's heat. Literally. If your heat or air conditioning is making a funny noise, not working the way it's supposed to, the heat's not working like it was working last season, or worse, not working at all, call Total Maintenance. Like I said, honest air conditioning and heating experts. That means they diagnose it right the first time, and they come immediately because they know you're stressed out. This holiday season, very important to remember Total Maintenance. Most of us watching or listening to the program right now, you're not going to need air conditioning or heat needs. You're not going to need help. You're going to be just fine. But somebody out there listening is going to need air conditioning or heat help. I needed it a few years ago on a Sunday. It happened to be Easter Sunday. Total Maintenance was there for me. Yeah, I was about to tell you, weekday, weekend, overnight, or holiday. It could be Christmas Day, it could be Christmas Eve, and the fireworks are going off and it's midnight, and you notice your AC or your heat's not working. Total Maintenance is there in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, tm-ac.com. If you need air conditioning or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, tm-ac.com. Think Total Maintenance. tm-ac.com. That's all you need to remember. Yeah, it is crazy, the fluctuation in weather the last few weeks. I mean, for December in New Orleans, the highs and lows, that like having those aren't, something that's crazy or out of the ordinary. It's the 24-hour later thing, 36 hours later, just the extremes from one to the other. That's the crazy part of it all. The 40 degrees and literally it's 35 degrees warmer the next day, or vice versa. Yeah, fog on the Causeway Bridge this morning. At least 6 crashes, 2 on the southbound span with the new higher railings, 4 on the northbound span, the newer bridge. Southbound span is circa 1956. The northbound span is circa 1969. 40 to 50 vehicles reportedly involved, 40 to 50. Multiple people injured. No deaths reported, but reportedly 33 taken to local hospitals. Both spans shut down earlier this morning. It officially reopened? Just 5 minutes ago? Wow. All right, both sides of the Causeway reopening a few minutes ago, according to Fox 8. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? Especially if you got a beeline across the Causeway. Push that back a few hours. Go to Katie's, have an early dinner. Have some drinks with friends. Big portions, great for sharing, a true taste of New Orleans, old school New Orleans specialties. And you never know what Scott Craig's going to bring in each and every day, like pompano or doormat flounder, soft shell crabs. In Mid-City, Iberville, corner Talamacus, as New Orleans as it gets. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? What a great wind down the day spot, after work spot, Katie's in Mid-City. Or to check out the Pels or Saints or LSU or Tulane. College bowl games and NFL playoffs coming soon. Katie's in Mid-City. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Out with 2024, in with 2025. It's happening so soon. Ridiculous. 50-something days till Super Bowl 59 right here in the Crescent City. 50-something days. Hey, how many Super Bowls did New Orleans host at Old Tulane Stadium? How many Super Bowls did New Orleans host at Old Tulane Stadium in Uptown? Give me the answer to that, and I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Hey, no DuckDuckGo or Bing or Yahoo or Google, no search engines, no intranet device. You either know the answer or you don't. How many Super Bowls did New Orleans host at Old Tulane Stadium? GQ on the North Shore in Covington with his Komodo Joe grilling outfit. He has guessed correctly. Or he might tell you, I wasn't guessing, I was giving you the answer. No guess, facts, correct info. How many Super Bowls did New Orleans host at Old Tulane Stadium? Give me the answer to that. And I've got 50 big bucks for you. I will give you a slight hint. The last one wasn't supposed to be at Tulane Stadium. The last one that was held at Tulane Stadium was supposed to be at the Superdome. But the Superdome was behind schedule. I know that's crazy. A major construction project in New Orleans in the state of Louisiana behind schedule. I know, nutty. Anyway, the Dome was behind schedule and didn't open till about 6 months after the Super Bowl. So about 6 months behind. The first Superdome Super Bowl, the first indoor Super Bowl, ended up going back to Tulane Stadium because the Dome wasn't ready quite yet. By the way, that would be the January 1975 Super Bowl. January 1975 at Tulane Stadium. The Superdome opened later that year, August of 1975. Hey, I'm looking for the original New Orleans pro basketball team. The original New Orleans pro basketball team. Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Then they're in New Orleans, Mid-City, Canal Street at Carrollton. They're in Metairie near North Kenner, Transcontinental West Esplanade. They're in Mandeville, East Causeway Approach, across from the Mandeville City Hall. They're in Slidell, about 90 seconds off the Gauze I-10 exit. They're in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. Guys, I threw out those 5 locations because I highly recommend going to one of the 5 locations. So when you pick up that gift card, which, by the way, if you can't make it to one of the 5 locations, you can print your own gift card, any denomination, including a full-blown day of relaxation. You can do it all online, woodhousespas.com. But I highly recommend going to one of those 5 locations I just mentioned because the lobby area, the foyer lobby area of those Woodhouse Day Spa locations, chock full of goodies for her. The staff will help you. Little bag with the rope handles and the tissue paper and the ribbons and bows and all that stuff we're terrible at. They'll load it full of stuff from that lobby foyer area at each and every Woodhouse, like candles, bath salts, moisturizer, slippers, maybe a robe. Lots of great stuff. Little thing you put on your neck that you can heat. Lots of great stuff for her that she'll love. I mean, the candles, the bath salt, the moisturizers, no brainer. No, you load the bag up with those goodies. You put that full-blown day of relaxation gift card in the bag. You might be done. That's it. Your Christmas holiday present, problem, 110% solved. What am I going to get her? Is she going to like it? Both problems solved. What are you getting her? A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. It's exactly what she wants. Don't fight it, guys. I know it's like a yearly ritual. You almost think it's like a habit, a necessity. I got to stress out, and last minute I'll figure out a gift for her, and then it's a 50-50 chance she's going to like it or not. Go with the guaranteed home run, the grand slam. Get her a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com, the website, if you want to print your own gift card. WoodhouseSpas.com. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. How many Super Bowls has New Orleans hosted at Old Tulane Stadium? 766-9480. The original New Orleans pro basketball team, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. It is holiday season. It's so nice when you got friends and family coming in town for the holidays. Maybe not so nice that they're staying with you at your house and you don't want to just put them up at a hotel. Want them to stay somewhere special in New Orleans? The Grand Victorian. The ultimate bed and breakfast on St. Charles Avenue, on the streetcar line in the Garden District. To book a reservation at the Grand Victorian, gvbb.com. gvbb.com, the Grand Victorian.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology transform manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Prepared with experience, depth, knowledge, and a history in the game. Corey Johnson.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48.
I am the smartest man alive!
Ouch. Hey, if you're tired of your dry cleaner, Young's Dry Cleaning is there to pick up the slack. They've only been at it since 1940, going on 85 years of excellence. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations. YoungsDryCleaning.com, YoungsDryCleaning.com. This is just scary when the city of New Orleans kind of tries to go into business for itself. It looks like the city is going to use $2 million from the city budget, $2 million to fund a study for locations for a potential New Orleans East grocery store. It's just mind-blowing. Like, there's a lot of things New Orleans lacks. A lot of things we lack compared to other cities. The city needs to take care of itself and become a better city, like infrastructure and crime and education and things that the city controls. The private sector, like where a gas station, grocery, gym, dry cleaner, restaurant, where those things are supposed to be, the city, all they can do is try to make things better to entice people, the private sector, into coming into the city and investing. They can spend $2 million, they can spend $20 million, they can spend $200 million on a study or dozens of studies for locations of potential New Orleans East grocery stores. But until you bring the quality of life, the quality of living, the per capita income up, New Orleans East has a per capita income of $10,000 less than the city average. So the city average, including New Orleans East, then you separate New Orleans East, it's $10,000 less per year, per capita, than the city average. So what is Lakeview to New Orleans East? Double the income, triple the income per household? I'm not dogging New Orleans East or dogging the 80,000 people that live out there. I know a lot about New Orleans East, grew up essentially in New Orleans East. When Kenilworth and the Plaza were taken off, the Popeyes on Morrison was like one of the top 10 Popeyes. Top 10, like built ever, like around in the early 70s. UNO taken off, Suno taken off. Now, I remember New Orleans East as a child, part of my life. Now, New Orleans needs to invest in itself This is a joke. This is politics at its worst. This is homestead exemption, $50 license plates. It's that kind of thing. It's a politician. In this case, I think it's Oliver Thomas behind this because he tweeted it. I'm proud to have secured $2 million for a New Orleans East grocery store as part of the 2025 City of New Orleans budget. Similar to the project in the lower 9 that I requested last year, this allocation will be used to fund and complete a study for locations and plans for grocery stores in New Orleans East. This development is critical for a neighborhood that does not currently have easy access to fresh, high-quality food. What you got, Miss Peaches? The like Winn-Dixie on Chef Highway and that like Super Walmart on Bullard. And that's like it for grocery stores in the East, besides some little mom and pop thing that might have a, some salad or a tomato or ear of corn or two. But those are really the only full grocery stores in the East, right? The Winn-Dixie on Chef Highway and the BS grocery store at the Walmart, the Super Walmart. I can't think of anything else out there where a grocery store is in the East. I can't think anywhere. There's nothing on like the lakeside of I-10, obviously. Payne, there's nothing over there. Just like probably just some like Circle K size thing that might have some, perishable items. I can't think of anything. Crowder, Reed, Bullard. Nothing on Crowder, nothing on Reed. Nothing on Chef besides that Dixie, I don't think. I can't think of anything. Might be like a Vietnamese grocery out there, some mom and pop. Yeah, that is a shame. I hear that. I hear you as far as like it's a grocery desert and stuff like that, but in New Orleans East, this doesn't fix the problem. This is government intervening in something they have no reason getting involved in. Do you not think, seriously, do you not think Rouse's and Winn-Dixie and any grocery store you can think of, probably like Bromart, Langenstein's, they'd love another location that's viable and works. They'd love another location that is viable and works. What did Bromart just buy? Like Balestras in Belle Chase, I think. Yeah, Balestras was in Belle Chase for like 50 years or longer. I think it's a Bromart now because they're like, we think it's viable, Belle Chase and the West Bank. We think there's enough money here at whatever level those people are, lower middle class, upper middle class, rich, wealthy, poor, whatever level, we think a grocery is viable, and Bromart bought Balestras. I don't see grocery stores flocking to the East, or restaurants or dry cleaners or lots of businesses flocking to the East because there's not a lot of disposable income in New Orleans East. When the per capita income's 10 grand less in the East than the rest of the city of New Orleans, what does that tell you? I mean, what one could argue it's like the poorest area of the city, maybe. There might be more disposable income like in Pigeontown and Gerttown and Hollygrove than in New Orleans East. I know this much, the square foot housing cost in Pigeontown, Hollygrove, and Gerttown is higher than New Orleans East. The square foot home cost is more expensive in those neighborhoods. So I don't know what the problem is. I mean, New Orleans East has major problems. It isn't a black thing where no one wants to invest money because there are too many black neighborhoods, Latino neighborhoods, all kind of minority neighborhoods, or not minority, white, whatever, just socioeconomically poor neighborhoods in America that are loaded with retail. No, folks, avoid New Orleans East, it seems. So the city's going to use $2 million to study locations and a plan for a new grocery or groceries plural in New Orleans East. It's just mind-blowing to me. It really is. It's like Canal Street. You know, I used to get the downtown development district folks on pretty regularly, and it was always like about a domino. You know, you get the first domino going, then the second, the third, but it's getting that inertia going. And they've been trying for decades on Canal Street to get momentum going where it's more like Michigan Avenue, you know, something you'd see in Chicago or New York. It's a grand street. It should be more first class. It should be more mainstream. It's got some nice stuff, some high-end stuff, like Rubenstein's or Adler's or Canal Place and Saks Fifth Avenue, the Ritz-Carlton and things like that. And then it's got, you know, the trinket shops and the crap and a lot of low-end stuff. So it definitely could use a domino effect where you're getting 3, 4, 5, 6 major retailers coming in and taking over buildings and redoing them and upgrading the street. They've been trying for decades to do this, and they can't do it. The convention money, the tourist money, the local money, whatever the reason, can't get momentum on Canal Street that's just begging for that momentum. And then you think about New Orleans East, you're like, yeah, I know why people aren't investing in New Orleans East. Now, this is silly. $2 million that the city's going to spend, where essentially whoever's doing the study, they're making the money. It's setting up a few people with $2 million to study something. I mean, go to Rouse's. Go ask Donnie Rouse. I guarantee you they've studied New Orleans East. I guarantee you Donnie Rouse and Rouse's has studied New Orleans East. The demographics, the income, the number of people, the Winn-Dixie that exists, the Walmart's grocery that exists, the money they do a year, what's left in the pie, on and on and on. And the city's going to spend $2 million. Tell me what this is going to produce, except maybe some votes. Folks out in New Orleans East going, Oliver went to bat for us, trying to get us a grocery. Try to get you a manufacturing facility out in Michoud, and then there'll be jobs and money, and a grocery will naturally come. That's what you focus on. Spend the $2 million on lighting up Chef Highway at night, or I-510, or opening up the Dwyer Bridge over the I-510. Spend the money on that. Light up the interstate. Clean up the tires. Spend the $2 million to make sure no tires get dumped ever again on the Michoud exit off I-10. That's how you create jobs and increase income and make it more livable. Wasting $2 million, setting up a friend with a silly study that's already been done, saying it's not viable is a waste.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you. The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at Rouse's.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Women are often throwing clothing items at me saying you're the possessor of the cool factor. I have to fight off the ladies.
90 minutes of fun every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
There's no way I made that statement. That had to be many sentences, different words pulled out and bridged into that sentence. There's no way it's AI generated. There's no way I said cool factor. It's crazy. Wow. Maybe it's why I'm divorced. It's so funny, Miss Peaches. I live like 6 blocks from the French Quarter. And my former wife swears I said I live in the French Quarter. And I know I would never say that. And she says it like with a wink and a laugh, like you were saying it to impress and to lure me in kind of thing. Like, that kind of thing, like I have money or just sort of like in it, not that saying I live in the French Quarter means I have money, but it means I live in the French Quarter. I drive a nice car. I have a country house. It's just saying trying to add something. And there's no way, no how I ever said that. It's just a fact. I might have said, she might have been like, where is that? And I was like, near the quarter in the CBD or something like that. I wouldn't have said anything to enhance it. For starters, to make me look better. It's just impossible. And then second, I didn't say French Quarter to make it sound better than where it really was outside of the French Quarter in the CBD. Anyway, just a funny story on, people kind of want to hear what they want to hear, or what they, but she also, I think she sees how I reacted to her thinking that, and I think she likes that. She thinks that's funny. Now, all my buddies are like, dude, you had the greatest divorce ever. Weren't too many problems. No, I still love my former wife. She's cool. She's smart. She's a good girl. See her about every 6 months, bump into her. We get along great. Like, don't miss a beat. But no, I have some friends that divorce was just like, yeah, miserable. But also we didn't have, she didn't come home and I was like with somebody or vice versa, or, she's with the postman or something. It's just, But I guess if that happens or, infidelity or theft or something like that, I guess, I don't know, money. I don't know what are some other things. Just didn't get along with the in-laws. I love the in-laws. Mother-in-law is fantastic. I love her to this day. It's like a second mom. She's sweet. Don't miss a beat with her when I see her like every 6 months. Don't miss a beat. It's like it's the next day, and, But yeah, money. I have no idea. But people that go through those ugly divorces, Miss Peaches, geez and Pete's, And then when I just hear these, speaking of money, just she wrote you a check for how much? You wrote her a check for how much? It's just like, really?
Well, I didn't get enough.
Right, exactly. It's just like, wow. And I've had male friends that have received and vice versa. Most of the time it's men writing the women a check. But it goes the other way too. And not so much with the women, but with the men, maybe because I'm closer with them. I was like, why do you deserve that? But then if you have kids and there's a certain level expectation of how the kids are going to be financially taken care of, school and how they're going to live and all that. But anyway, no, I think I would guess most divorces aren't good. The majority, I would guess, aren't good. And then I would think a pretty good percentage are just downright ugly. We hear about it all the time. And then you hear the woman or the man talk about the other just in just a very ugly way, in like an evil way. And you're like, those two were so in love 5 years ago, procreated, all blah, 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 blah. Now, don't give Johnny a knife if he's anywhere around her, I mean, it's almost like that. Terrible. Yeah, we've all seen it, Miss Peaches. What a bummer. Hey, the Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480. How many Super Bowls did New Orleans host at Old Tulane Stadium? No search engines, no internet device. You know the answer, you don't. And if you do, I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. The original New Orleans pro basketball team. 766-9480. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Fog on the Causeway Bridge this morning, at least 6 crashes. 40 to 50 vehicles reportedly. Oliver Thomas, New Orleans City Councilman, has secured $2 million, part of the New Orleans City budget, to pay for a study, fund a study that will search out potential locations for New Orleans East grocery stores. This is a $2 million waste of funds. There's so many better ways to spend $2 million in the East. No illegal dumping, cut some grass, get the Dwyer overpass over the I-510 actually working, clean up Chef Highway, fix the fencing on the I-10. I mean, I go on and on and on. You want me to keep going for New Orleans East? It's a joke. $2 million to do a study. Donnie Rouse and a bunch of other grocery store chains locally and nationally have already done. Why do you think there aren't groceries in New Orleans East? It's some racial discrimination? You think folks are just, it's a black neighborhood, not going out in New Orleans East? Too many black neighborhoods in America full of grocery store chains, full of grocery stores. And I think it's a little deeper than that. New Orleans East suffers because it suffers. It needs a lot of things like jobs at Michoud, higher quality of life, higher per capita income. Even this guy knows it. Well, check out this stat he's going to fire out. What's that statistic again, buddy? New Orleans East per capita, $10,000 less a year than the rest of New Orleans. Wow. And what? It's versus New Orleans with New Orleans East dragging down the overall per capita income. So it's 10 grand less than all of New Orleans, which includes New Orleans East. Wow. And then New Orleans East by itself, 10 grand less. Thanks, Blue Boy.
Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Hey, New Orleans. If you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art & Eyes. Art & Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and Art of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. As we say, quarters with the shrimps. Oh boy, happy New Year's. Out 2024, in with 2025. I was saying out with 2024, in with 2025. It's a coming. It's amazing how quick this year went by. I was saying last hour, summer seemed like 6 weeks ago. Halloween about a week ago. You know, Thanksgiving like last week. Christmas, New Year, 2025. Resolutions, all that good stuff. Black-eyed peas and cabbage. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. The Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. We got a lot to cover. Big wreck on the Causeway, wrecks, I should say, plural, on the Causeway this morning due to fog, or fog contributing to the wrecks. Thank goodness no one killed, but 40 to 50 vehicles involved. $2 million of city money is going to be used to fund a study to see where grocery stores can be built in New Orleans East. Talk about a waste of city money. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Let's go to those phone lines. To the Best Bank, Gary joins us on the program. Gary, what up?
Hello there, Corey. How you doing, pal?
Doing well, man. What's going on Dar Best Bank?
Better. I beat cancer.
Oh, my goodness. Good for you, man.
I beat cancer, and thank God I'm around for another Christmas.
Wow, incredible.
And I would like to answer your question about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, hang on 1 second, though, Gary. When were you diagnosed, and how long was your battle?
I was diagnosed on February 29th. February 29th.
And how serious was the cancer?
It was level 3.
Wow.
I had a growth pulled out of my tongue, and my lymph nodes on the right side of my neck were removed also.
Was it cigarette smoking related?
Undetermined.
Are you a cigarette smoker?
Undetermined. But anyway, I'm around for another year.
Good, Gary.
And I'm still kind of getting my arms together. Anyway, the Super Bowl question, right?
Yeah, how many Super Bowls did New Orleans host at Old Tulane Stadium?
I'm going to say 3.
3?
Yes.
You have any idea which ones?
Well, I distinctly remember the one when Minnesota got beat by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I want to say that was 1970 maybe, or 72.
Yes, sir, it certainly was.
Yep, 70, 72, 75 with the 3 Super Bowls at Tulane Stadium. You are correct, Gary.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right. Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
I want to say the coldest Super Bowl ever in the history of the game was at Tulane Stadium. Just a cold winter morning. The one in 75, Gary, was supposed to be at the Dome, but the Dome wasn't finished yet.
It was not completed.
Yep. So January of 75, the Dome didn't open until August of 75. Construction delays. They ended up having to basically move it to Tulane Stadium.
I remember that. Distinctly remember the one in 1970. I remember that.
Yep. 70, 72, and 75. 3 Super Bowls at old Tulane Stadium.
Well, I guess my mind still works, but my tongue is all swollen up. So I'll take my bow. Thank you, Corey. I enjoy your show all the time.
Thanks so much, Gary. Congratulations on beating cancer. That's incredible.
Well, I'm doing my best.
It sounds like it, man. Hang on, all right, Gary?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hang on, Gary, on the West Bank. Miss Peaches is going to get some info from you. And we're going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Good job, Gary, and congratulations on beating cancer. How many Super Bowls at the Superdome? Might as well throw that one out there. Gary on the West Bank just answered how many we've hosted at Tulane Stadium. 3. 70, 72, 75. We were just getting the game. It was like basically a LA, South Florida, Miami, and Los Angeles, Miami, New Orleans rotation. Because back then, it's January. You're not going to have this at an open air stadium up north. It's got to be a friendly weather city. I remember they snuck in Houston, I think at old Rice Stadium, like in 71 or 73. So, but it was basically LA, Miami, New Orleans, LA, Miami, New Orleans, just over, rinse and repeat. Snuck Houston in there. And then as time went on, they started putting them in other spots, still trying to keep it in warm weather, like Tampa became a popular location. San Diego had a Super Bowl or 2. They'd even try to include San Francisco. But pretty much everywhere else was out. And then all of a sudden, Phoenix gets the St. Louis Cardinals, and Phoenix starts getting Super Bowls. Atlanta gets the Georgia Dome in the 90s. They start getting some Super Bowls. And then it turns into build a new stadium and we'll come. The Super Bowl in the Meadowlands in New Jersey was a total roll of the dice. I don't think the NFL will ever be going back to New York, New Jersey, because they don't want a Super Bowl in 19 degrees and sleet. And you go, man, it's the NFL. Well, it just gives a huge advantage to a team that maybe is slower and physically stronger, but not quick and fast and fleety and athletic, and maybe gives a team that has a good running back an advantage over a team that throws. It just changes the game somewhat if it's 19 degrees and sleet. That's fine for regular season, even playoffs. The home team earns it. They want to have an open air stadium up north. That's their prerogative. But for the game, the Super Bowl, I think it's a little different. So they'll never go back there. But, they've gone to Indianapolis, Detroit. Build a new stadium and they will come. Nashville's about to get a new NFL stadium. They'll have a Super Bowl in Nashville, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Washington's going to get a new stadium. The Commanders, the old Redskins, they'll get a Super Bowl, guaranteed. Look at Las Vegas. They're going to be on the regular rotation. And that regular rotation's about a game every decade, guaranteed, which still seems to be the case for Miami, New Orleans, Los Angeles, and now Las Vegas. Like every decade, you're going to be guaranteed a game. Every 8, 10, 12 years, you're guaranteed a game. Vegas will get another one sooner than later because it's a new city and a new stadium. It's a new Super Bowl city. I guarantee you,
the gap between Super Bowl, the first one in Vegas and the second one in Vegas, will be a shorter gap than the Super Bowl gap that New Orleans will experience after this game. Las Vegas will have 2 games in a shorter time period than New Orleans will have 2 Super Bowls. Hey, New Orleans, all Smoothie King locations are not the same. All different franchise owners. Jay and his dad have been Smoothie King franchisee owners for decades. They own the Smoothie King I go to, Jefferson Highway across from Oshner. Or I'll head to Old Metairie, Airline by LeBar, by Causeway, and that Rouse's Shopping Center. All Smoothie Kings are not the same, far from it. Experience the best. Smoothie King, Jefferson Highway across from Oshner, and the Old Metairie Smoothie King, Airline at LeBar by Causeway in that Rouse's Shopping Center. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Out with 2024, in with 2025. It's coming. There's no way to stop it. Speaking of no way to stop it, Oliver Thomas announces $2 million will be used, city money, to fund a study used to find out if locations are viable in New Orleans East for a grocery. No, they're not. Check with the grocery store people. They've already done the study. We'll talk about that and more when we return. Every day, this program on radio, on television, on YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner, home of Lamarck Ford, Lamarck Lincoln, and Lamarck Crescent City Ford, your commercial truck, van, SUV dealership. Every day, the program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your first home decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monitor. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more.
when you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Holiday season. Got 50 big bucks. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations just for you. All you need to do is answer a little trivia. Gary on the West Bank just picked up 50 bucks to the Woodhouse. How many Super Bowls did New Orleans host at Old Tulane Stadium? Gary had the correct answer, 3. The 1970 game, the 72 game, and the 75 game. The 75 game was awarded to New Orleans and the Superdome. Superdome had some construction delays. Imagine that. And it didn't open until the summer of 75. Super Bowl was in January of 75, so they moved it to Tulane Stadium. One last Super Bowl at Tulane Stadium. How many Super Bowls has the Superdome hosted? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. How many Super Bowls has the Superdome hosted? Hey, I'm looking for the original New Orleans pro basketball team. Give me the name. The original New Orleans pro basketball team, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. It's holiday season. If you're watching the program on TV right now or on YouTube, yes, that is a jar of Blue Plate mayonnaise on the studio set. If you're listening on the radio, you just have to imagine the blue top, the Blue Plate mayonnaise jar sitting right in front of me. It's holiday season. Spread the love. A New Orleans family tradition. For over 95 years, if you're a New Orleanian, it's got to be Blue Plate mayonnaise. New Orleans mayonnaise for nearly 100 years. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Out with 2024, in with 2025. Yeah, you right. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Oliver Thomas announcing on his Twitter, this, I think, is just strictly a political move. No benefit to folks in New Orleans East, although they'll take it as like he went to bat for us. This is exactly like Governor Jeff Landry and the 10 Commandments in the classroom thing. He can't lose with his base. It's a 99.9% chance this never happens because it's clearly unconstitutional, obviously unconstitutional, like to kindergarten level unconstitutional. Everyone can see it. The fluke it happens, he wins. The 99+% chance it doesn't, he still wins because his base, evangelical base, would be like, he went to bat for us for the 10 Commandments, even though it wasn't going to happen, and all it did is cost the state millions of dollars in lawyer fees fighting this, knowing it's a loser. And it has nothing to do with the 10 Commandments. Jesus is my God. That's my faith, Christianity. The 10 Commandments are my thing. That's my faith. It has nothing to do with that. It's not my personal opinion that, like, I'm against Christianity or the 10 Commandments.
This law is unconstitutional. I can separate church and state. The state needs to try to do a better job. This governor needs to do a better job with this. The AG, Liz Murrill. No, this Oliver Thomas move to me is exactly the same thing. Now, the $2 million will be part of the city budget. It will be spent on this study, and nothing good's going to come from it. It's a waste of money. But the constituents in New Orleans East will be like, Oliver went for bat for us. He tried to get us a grocery store, tried to improve our lives. They're going to take it as Oliver tried when, like Jeff Landry with the Constitution thing, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of taxpayer money. It doesn't benefit the citizens at all. It's just all about politics. This is the same thing. The $2 million spent will not show anything. It won't show locations for potential groceries. It won't show the plan to do it. The opposite. He could go to Donnie Rouse. Hey, Donnie, I'm assuming you guys have studied New Orleans East. Why don't you have a grocery out there? He'll explain it in 5 minutes and probably for free. I mean, think about Rouse's. They've got a Rouse's on Napoleon and Tchoupitoulas. A huge Rouse's in this like 100-year-old brick warehouse. It's badass. It's a cool building. Great conversion. Keeping that old building, from just going into disrepair and putting it into commerce again. Brilliant. Rouse's opens this little boutique store on Ferret and Valence. What is that about? At most a mile and a half from Tchoupitoulas and Napoleon. You go down Napoleon through Magazine, through Britannia, through St. Charles. Next traffic lights, Ferret, hook a left. About 4 blocks down on your right, the Rouse's, about a mile and a half away. So you got 2 Rouse's in Uptown, off Napoleon, about a mile and a half away. They know that the store on Napoleon and Tchoupitoulas unaffected by Ferret. I don't see any decline in cars in the parking lot, grocery shoppers, the people in line. I notice no difference in that store. And the Ferret store is viable. The Ferret store's always got a good crowd in there. They anchor that Ferret corridor, Rouse's. So they studied it, they looked at it, and they saw it was economically viable. If you're a grocery store chain, seriously, and you're like, where do we go in New Orleans? Where are some viable locations? Everywhere is pretty much taken up. I mean, Miss Peaches, think about grocery stores in between on Vets, say like Bonneville to Severn. It might be 6 or 8 grocery stores. Well, you got Dorignac's. Across the street, you got Save-A Center, right? Whatever, Fresh Market. All right, so you got Dorignac's Fresh Market. And then you got Winn-Dixie on the parish line. So you got 3 before Bonneville. Then you cross over Bonneville and you got Trader Joe at Causeway. You got Rouse's across the street, Causeway and Vets. On the other side, you got Bromart on Severn, and you got Whole Food on Severn and Vets. So that's by Causeway and Vets, you got 4 groceries. Trader Joe, Rouse's, Bromart, and Whole Food. By the foot of Vets, you got the Winn-Dixie, Dorignac's Fresh Market. That's 7 groceries. I'm probably missing one somewhere up around that corridor. There's probably something on Causeway I don't think anything on Causeway, but maybe something. I mean, Zappardo's just farther down Vets by Transcontinental. That's a little bit of a ways down. But 7 groceries from Severn to the parish line. 7 grocery stores. Why? Because there are hundreds of thousands of people in Jefferson Parish and Lakeview. Yeah, throw in the lakefront. Robert's, Lakeview on Harrison Avenue. Come on. No, there's a reason. Grocery store chains, local, national, You don't think they've gone, wow, New Orleans East only has a Winn-Dixie on Chef Highway and a Walmart Superstore grocery on Bullard. We could go to Crowder. We could go to Reed. We could go on Chef Highway. We could go on Hain. We could go a bunch of different locations. They've done the studies, obviously, the demographics, the per capita income, the groceries that exist, on and on and on. It's not a viable thing. But Oliver Thomas is going to spend $2 million to study it. Wow. Hey, are you northbound on the Causeway Bridge right now? It's reopened. Stressful morning with the bridge closure. 6 wrecks. Why don't you fire in a to-go order? Decompress. Trey Yen. Don't cook dinner tonight at home. One less thing to worry about. Pick up a big to-go order from Trey Yen. You don't even have to leave your vehicle. Curbside delivery. And you're a hero when you walk in the door. Mom, dad, the kids, everybody loves Trey Yen. A big to-go order from Trey Yen, exactly what the doctor ordered. Call them up, curbside delivery. Or dine in at the foot of the Causeway, you North Shore folks in Mandeville. That means you South Shore folks. 25 short minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center. You're at the front door at Trey Yen in Mandeville. So good. Don't forget about lunch specials the rest of the week, Tuesday through Friday. 10, 11, 12 bucks. What you'd pay for fast food. Gourmet Chinese cuisine. About 20 different lunch specials. 20 different lunch specials to choose from Tuesday through Friday at Trey Yen. Yummy. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 766-9480. Yeah, serious fog this morning. Serious fog on the lake on the Causeway Bridge, contributing this AM to at least 6 crashes. 2 on the southbound span, 4 on the northbound span, reportedly involving 40 to 50 vehicles, including a couple of 18-wheelers. Multiple injured. No deaths reported, thank God, but reportedly 33 taken to local hospitals. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. There are only so many ways out of New Orleans. We are truly the Isle of Orleans. We're an island, New Orleans. You got I-10 east and west. You got the Causeway Bridge going north. You go to the West Bank south over the Crescent City connection of the Huey Long. Airline Highway going west. Chef Highway going east. Highway 11, River Road. There are not a lot of ways in and out of New Orleans off this island. We saw what happened, with the fog and the Causeway. What is that, about maybe 15% of all roadway out of the city shut down, with the Causeway being shut down? And as far as going north to the North Shore, you got to go way around to I-55 or New Orleans East to I-12. I-59, I-12, I should say, in Slidell. Got to go all the way around. That's why the Causeway was built. No, it just got me wondering, how is U.S. Highway 90, Chef Highway in St. Tammany Parish, how is it not open into Pearlington, Mississippi still to this day? How is that drawbridge over the West Pearl River not in the down position? Hey, all boats north of the drawbridge, we're lowering the drawbridge and it's going to be down for years while we construct, build, and replace the bridge with a new one when that opens down the road. So it's going to be in the down position, move your boat south. And then like the twin span, New Orleans East to Slidell post-Katrina, you bridge that gap with those metal frames and those panels that are bolted down. And maybe 18-wheelers aren't allowed on the Chef into Pearlington. They'd have to go the I-10 route. Take exit 2 by Stennis and take 605, 607, whatever that is, off of 90 into Pearlington. Port d'Iberville, Lakeshore, Mississippi, Waveland, South Waveland. You'll have to go the old way if you're in an 18-wheeler. Otherwise, about 4,000 to 5,000 vehicles a day use the old Chef route over the Pearl River into Pearlington to go into Mississippi or to come into Louisiana from Mississippi. About 4,000 to 5,000 vehicles a day. Add by the thousands a day if there's a traffic snarl or accident or problem on I-10. People will take the Chef, old US 90. No, it's closed indefinitely. How'd you like to own like that little, Circle K right in Mississippi on the other side of the Pearl, the bail bonds place, whatever those businesses are in Pearlington? You're out of business. You're out of business. The easy access to and from Louisiana, the 4,000 or 5,000 cars a day passing aren't passing at all anymore. It's not down to a trickle. It's down to zero. No, I think about hurricane evacuation route, hurricane season, and Chef Highway is shut down. That's absolutely insane. That is just crazy. It is a U.S. federal highway. Where's John Kennedy, Steve Scalise, Mike Johnson? Where's the federal money? The state will match, but the Fed should be on this project like white on rice. Not just a regular highway project. It's a U.S. federal highway. That would be the argument. But second, it's a major hurricane evacuation route off the island of New Orleans. There should be a sense of urgency to get it built quickly now. Set up models of potential storm, people not being able to get out, the deaths, the property damage, what it'll cost without this working. No, it pays for itself. Lower the drawbridge, put some panels on it, move all the boats south of the drawbridge, and reopen the Chef Highway. Now, these are all Huey Long era bridges, so they're like 80, 90 years old. There's the drawbridge that's the main culprit, the main problem. It needs work. I'm not going to lie to you. It's disabled for a reason. It's messed up. That goes over the West Pearl. There are little bayous, little tributaries of the Pearl, West Pearl, I guess west of that drawbridge. They're little bridges, and supposedly they need to be replaced. I'm not an engineer, but I think the little bridges need to be replaced is nonsense. The drawbridge is a big hulking bridge, mechanical, a lot of parts. It's large, rusted. It needs to be replaced. The little bridges easily can be restored, in my opinion. They're brick, you-know-what houses built like yesteryear, like the Huey P. Long Bridge over the Mississippi River. Even though they're little tiny bridges, they're overbuilt. And I think they could easily be repaired, refurbished, and would be fine. The drawbridge is the major bridge. You want to rebuild all those little bridges too? Go for it. But I think you lower the drawbridge, you put panels on it, you make it operational, and you right away to the side of it, you're building a new bridge. And you have that open. It's a U.S. highway. For it to be shut down right now, Louisiana having no plan, no sense of urgency, no funding in place, not even talking about it, discussing it, not even thinking about it, is entirely unacceptable. I don't know how folks in affluent St. Tammany Parish aren't freaking out. 766-9480, the phone number. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Hey, the new year is upon us, 2024 on the way out, 2025 on the way in. New Year resolution, changes in your life. Coronavirus crisis got a lot of people changing their jobs, their profession. They could have been lawyers or plumbers or architects or doctors or whatever, and they quit their job, their career, and went into something else. If you're tired of your job and you're ready for a change, maybe Latrim is the place for you. Been talking about these folks for years, over a decade, a culture of innovation at Latrim. This incredible New Orleans company. If we had about a dozen or 15 Latrims, we'd be like Austin, Texas, or Charlotte, North Carolina, or Nashville. We'd be booming. Thank God I'm appreciative we have one. Latrim and Elmwood, a worldwide leader, a manufacturing giant, a culture of innovation. They invented the shrimp peeling machine. That led to the all-plastic modular conveyor belt, hundreds of patents, the alternating tread stair, the Lapierre stair. Go to their website, latrim.com. Check out this incredible, innovative New Orleans company. Now, the beautiful thing is they're hiring.
in both Elmwood and at their I-12 facility on the North Shore. You folks on the East Bank, West Bank, they got you covered in Elmwood. You folks on the North Shore, they got you covered at their I-12 facility. Dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs available. They got a job for you. Go to their website, Latrim.com, for a full listing of positions available. Latrim spelled Latram, Latrim.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Auction, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
President and Executive Director of the Causeway joins us. Carlton Dufer shows on the neutral ground. What's up, Carlton? What a crazy day for you.
Yeah, Corey, it's been a memorable one. What's up, buddy? You heard about all the stuff going on today, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say, first off, I think fog didn't cause the wrecks, contributed to the wrecks. What do you have, 6 crashes, 2 on the southbound and 4 on the northbound span?
Yeah, no, you are right. Fog's a contributing factor, but and look, we're going to debrief it Thursday. But from what I've heard so far, we had a good number of folks that were, we had one of my map guys was rear-ended, one of my police officers was rear-ended, and that's synonymous with inattentive driving. Whether the initial crash was part of that, I don't know. I can't tell you this. If it were not, this might sound self-serving. I don't mean it to be, though, but
I know what you're going to say.
Our guys' mission is to get everybody back safely and signed timely. The reason we didn't have any serious injuries out there is because the responses were so quick. The downside of today is, well, one more thing on the good side. We had, the last count I heard, 11 injuries, but everybody's going to be okay, including for one of my MAP motorist assistance patrol guys, one of my officers. A lot of this could have been preventable. And the thing that's most frustrating is going to come out in the investigation, but one of the crashes northbound, the one mid-span, that all these happened within 30 minutes of each other, had 2 box trucks from a very well-known delivery company that, from what I'm hearing, were operating unsafely. They ended up, I'm not sure who hit whom first, but they ended up all mangled together with an 18-wheeler or 2 18-wheelers, one on a southbound bridge, one on a northbound bridge, and that's what took so long to get everything opened up. But we had the everything taken care of except for that these 2 box trucks and the 18-wheeler that were so squished up together. And they literally took about 4 hours to cut, pull, and everything else apart, and that's why it took so long to get the bridge reopened. But look, the good news is everybody's okay. The vast majority of our commuters did exactly what they needed to do. You exercise common sense. You see bad situations, you start slowing down. But the message, I think, for all of us is that, life is precious, buddy. You and I have talked about this so often that things can happen in the blink of an eye. And just a little bit of inattentive driving, and everything can tumble down till it's not only impacting the people that are driving inattentively, but in an instance like today, we had, last I heard, was 36 vehicles. That is probably more involved in the crashes, but 36 that were incapacitated. So 36 people we had to take off the bridge that were okay, not hurt or anything, but their vehicles were all torn up in this mess. But anyway, sorry for talking so much.
No, that's all right. Carlton Dufer shows with us for a few minutes. I know it's a long day for you, Carlton, and a big day, in not a good way, but in a good way. No one got killed, and I'm assuming that the extended railings on the southbound span might have helped. It couldn't have hurt.
Oh, buddy, look, that first one, I can tell you that for sure. We had vehicles on the curbs. They would have been over.
Wow.
If not for the new rails. No,
Wow.
the rails saved lives today. To date, the rails have been, well, before today, they were hit 17 times. Of those, all of them investigated after a hit, and of those, probably at least 10 of them, 9 or 10 would have gone over. So
Wow.
the rails are working, the shoulders are working. Until today, we were in line to have the lowest number of crashes probably in the history of the bridge until way back in the early 60s. We were right about just under 110 so far this year, which would have been 14 less than last year, about 60 less than we had before the safety improvements per year. Today we will have an additional 6 crashes, but what is going to be a record today, I think, is a number of vehicles that were involved in all of the crashes. That count is, we'll know after the debrief on Thursday, but it's going to be way up there in the dozens.
Carlton Dufer shows with us from the Causeway. At least 6 crashes on the bridge, reportedly involving what, Carlton, 40 to 50 vehicles?
Corey, it's got to be over 40.
Wow.
Again, I'll know after Thursday, but it's going to be a record day.
Both spans have reopened?
Yes, we actually could have opened the southbound span earlier, but we were using it for the response to the northbound, and when we were actually looked like we may have to divert the northbound traffic to the southbound bridge to get it north. But fortunately, we're able to get those mangled mess of box trucks and 18-wheeler detangled and drag them off.
Both lanes in both directions, 65 mile an hour speed limit. It's all go.
Both brain lanes are open. We did initiate a convoy to get the bridge, to get it going. We're going. We did have a incident about 15 minutes ago. I understand there was a small crash with a individual rushing to get home on the north end. They are okay, and the vehicle is out of the roadway. But the message again is, pay attention.
Yep.
It's not about me. It's about everybody.
Hey, Carlton, where do you hit a fog level where a convoy is necessary, and was one necessary this morning at any time?
We had started the fog log, which is a first step toward any kind of convoying, about, I believe it was 30 minutes, right around 8 o'clock this morning, Corey. That's when, the fog is all, this all night long. The bridge is always manned. So whenever there's anyone on the bridge, whether it's an officer, a maintenance, motorist assistance patrol, sees any degree of fog that they feel could impair traffic, they will tell the ranking officer. The ranking officer will start a fog log. And what that means is that everybody reports in. Anyone on the bridge, any of our officers, motorist assistance guys, they'll report their location and the visibility at their location. From that, the ranking officer will start escalating, making decisions on what do we need to do. Do we need to start convoying? Do we, can we get to the other end? Do we need to shut down the bridge? Do we call on one side of the bridge? That kind of stuff. Because it was rush hour. I do know that the fog log had started. From what I've heard so far, the vast majority of the bridge was visibility was good. It was dropping around the drawbridge. This happened just before the drawbridge, just north of it, and we're not going to know until we go through it, tease it out. But the other problem with fog in the lake, and fog anywhere, as you know, Corey, it can be very thick in one area, and it's wind driven. And so if you get a little bit of wind, it can blow it, one way or the other. I think that is what contributed to this first initial crash on the southbound bridge this morning. Until we go through the review, I'd be remiss to try to guess more. So, but you nailed it. It was fog the reason this happened. It was a contributing factor. There was, unfortunately, a good deal of inattention. The vast majority of the commuters did exactly what they needed to do. They paid attention. They slowed down when they needed to. Unfortunately, as can be seen by not only the folks that crashed into others, but the folks that crashed into one of my officers and one of my map folks, obviously were not paying enough attention.
Hey, Carlton, on a slightly different topic, any future upgrades scheduled or slated for the Causeway Bridge? And is there a dream list you have of things you'd like to see? I mean, you've done a lot: the railing, the side shoulders, the mile markers.
The shoulders will always be full length. Shoulders is always going to be the dream sheet, Corey. That is the only way that's going to happen is if the economy changes in a very, very big positive way. We see more. Actually, our traffic is stable. It might actually be decreasing a little bit. We look at it annually, and we still aggravate our good elected officials. Senator Cassidy is very supportive, as has been Mr. Scalise, Senator Kennedy. But the reality is to do. Well, I talked about this.
It's $1 billion plus, huh?
We're talking $2 billion plus. Actually, probably more like $2.5 to $3 billion now. So those are all pre-COVID numbers that we've got.
That's just to have shoulders on the length of each span, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're spending $3 billion, you build a new bridge.
I'm sorry, say again?
You spend $3 billion, you build a new bridge.
That's exactly what it is. You're effectively building an original Causeway span again. Yeah. In 2023 or 2024, 25 instead of $1956.
Hey, Carlton, 6 crashes on the bridge this morning involving at least 40 vehicles. Any final thoughts?
The good Lord was with us, and everybody's gone home. Thank goodness, safely. The message for everybody, though, please, when you get in an automobile, the person who has the most control over our individual safety is each of us when we're in that vehicle.
Yep. Carlton, a pleasure. Thank you so much. I know it's been a crazy, busy day.
And Merry Christmas to you, too.
Hey, you too. Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Happy holidays to you and your family.
Thanks. Bye, Corey.
See you, Carlton. That's Carlton Dufresne Show from the Causeway, joining us for a few minutes. No, I mean, it's a lot of wrecks, a lot of crashes, a lot of fog, but the extended railings on the southbound bridge came into play today, saved vehicles from going over, probably saved lives, already paying for themselves, Yeah, you definitely don't build shoulders on each bridge the whole way for $3 billion when you could build a new span for that kind of money, because that's what you'd be doing. You've got there are, I think, 6 on each bridge. They're 1/8 of a mile long. So you haven't even added a mile to the bridge. So you need to go 23 plus miles of shoulder on each bridge. The bridge is 24 miles. It's 90+%. You build a new bridge from scratch, something like New Orleans East to Slidell. Elevated, jacked up, 3 lanes, big shoulders, that type of thing. And if not 3 lanes, at least 2 lanes with big shoulders, ready for 3 or 4 lanes of hurricane evacuation traffic. The twin span in Slidell, my God, you could do at least 5 lanes. The shoulders are a huge lane width. 18-wheelers could go down those shoulders on the New Orleans East to Slidell. It's super wide, at least 5 lanes. I mean, right now you got 3 huge lanes with huge shoulders. I think you could have 4 lanes on that bridge and still have 2 shoulders on either side. Basically 6 lanes across. Those bridges are massive. Those were $1 billion. That was $1 billion for 4.5 miles, both of them, 9 miles of bridge. $1 billion. So the Causeway is 24 miles. It's 50 miles of bridge. So that was 9 miles for $1 billion. Just do the math. To build a new Causeway north and southbound, probably $5 billion, about $2.5 billion, $3 billion each bridge. Building it like you built the twin span from the east to Slidell. Hey, you're checking out sports action tonight? You want to do it with like-minded fans? Can't make it to the arena or the stadium, but you love the Pels, the Saints, Tulane, LSU, and more? Tracy's, legendary Tracy's, Magazine at Pleasant. Caddy corner from the Bromart on Magazine, between Washington and Louisiana. Magazine and Pleasant, legendary Tracy's in their new, bigger, and better location. Too many flat screens to count, a full kitchen. When it's time to check out Tulane,
LSU, Saints, Pels, any of your favorite sports teams. Hard to find a better place than the brand new Tracy's magazine at Pleasant. Corey Johnson with you Tuesday afternoon. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. Out with 2024, in with 2025. Yeah, you right. And then, of course, this guy with great opinions, a fantastic take every day. It's Blue Boy. What do you think? I was talking about me? Talking about Blue Boy. He's always got something to say. Listen to him. This wasn't edited either. This is just straight talk. Blue Boy puts me to shame. Where did I learn my craft? Blue Boy. In New Orleans, wide open Wednesday. The holiday season continues. See at 4 p.m. Mañana.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.